What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Lucas Live. I'm your host, Lucas Tyndale. We are here in the morning. If you're watching us live, we are here in the morning. If you're watching us by replay, we appreciate you for checking us out. Stay tuned. If you're watching by replay, sometimes you jump into a replay and you're like, oh, I didn't see the live show, so let me get out of here. No, you want to stay here today. We have a wonderful guest here, Mr. Shawn Austin. He is the owner of Austin Express Trucking. He's going to talk about how he took his trucking business from, I got a few loads to run, to multiple large trucks. He's going to talk to us about that, as well as how he managed through the pandemic, and how he grew and downsized and grew again, and how he found a sweet spot for his business. Very inspiring story for anybody out there who's an entrepreneur, starting a business, trying to grow in your career, trying to do something new in this new year. This is a perfect show for you. He is also the owner of Tastebuds Popcorn. If you haven't had Tastebuds Popcorn, your taste buds ain't right. You got to go have some, all right? You're missing out. I bought some for my family for the holidays. I was in the store every day for a while. It was crazy. I was just in there. I was living in there for a minute. But I love Taste Buds Popcorn down there on Fulton. You guys have to check it out if you haven't already. We're going to talk about that. He also has some lovely members of his team. See, he brought the beauty and the brains from behind the opera. I don't know. That's what I have on my team. That's what I have on my team. My team and the beauty and the brains are, behind the scenes, really making everything happen. And I just get to show up and look good, and show up and make things happen. So I'm really excited about today. Good morning. Miss Danny Williams is in the chat. What's going on? Thank you for being here, our creative director. We appreciate her. Thank you for holding down Lucas Live News. Really appreciate that the other day, and we'll continue to. She does so many amazing things for us. We really appreciate it. You guys, if you have not yet shared this broadcast, please share this broadcast. I'm going to share it now, okay? We did start a few minutes behind. Now, if you're watching this by replay, you don't know that. So I didn't have to tell you that. You'd have been like, oh, everything seems fine. Well, it was a fun morning, but we're here, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and share the broadcast now. And I want you guys to do the same thing. So now is the moment where we share the broadcast and let everybody know we're here live. Good morning, Christina. Thank you for joining us. We are live now. My wife just texted me and said, "Are you live yet, or what? What are you doing? What's going on?" We were just a few minutes behind, but here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Our show's not going to be long today, so if you're getting ready for work, turn it on, leave it on, right? Y'all, what, you still watching the Cat Williams interview? Come on, it's time to tune into something else, all right? I mean, I was watching it. I watched it about 12 times, but it was on in the studio this morning, but whatever, it was just because it was on from yesterday. All right, what am I doing? I am sharing the broadcast, so let me go do that right now. I have to go to my profile, then I look up Lucas Live Media. That's what you want to do, and then you just want to hit share. And that's what I'm going to do. And boom, now it is shared. Good morning, Miss Judy Pledger Williams. Thank you so much for being here. I love Miss Judy. She is just a wonderful person, such a wonderful supporter. We love you here at Lucas Live. I love it when did you win a prize? We need to get you some prizes. Even if you don't win, we're just gonna give you some prizes just for being a family and always showing us love and supporting us. We appreciate it. All right. All right. So, all right, we're going to get going with our guest here this morning. Again, please like and share. I do want to share one of our sponsors here. We have the Pettis Effect, which is a life insurance agency run by Rachel Pettis, who is here, a local businesswoman here locally. And she is sponsoring Lucas Live Media. We have a wonderful deal with her where if you work with her because you heard about her from us, we all win. And what we're going to use those winnings for, obviously, to continue to grow Lucas Live Media, but also to give back to all of you. You guys know we're going to be doing more prizes and giveaways in 2024. Is it really 2024? I had to gather myself for a second. I wanted to say 2023 because that seems crazy, but I believe it's now 2024 if my calendar is correct. So in 2024, we're going to be doing a lot of prizes, giveaways, trivia, polls. We got a lot coming. All right. And there's going to be a lot of opportunities for you all to win, as well as local businesses who are doing giveaways and giving back so that we can give more to you. So just know it's coming. And we want you guys to, if you're interested in life insurance for yourself, for your loved one, you may have a loved one who you're concerned that they don't have the coverage they need. Did you know you can take out a life insurance policy on someone you know and love? just like in the movies. No, I'm just kidding. Don't hurt them. Okay. Once you got the life insurance policy, you're like, what happened? You were so nice to them before. You're like, I don't know. Don't don't take care of them. No, take care of your loved ones. Get them some life insurance. Get yourself life insurance. And you can do that by texting live to 844-925-4511. Texting live means Lucas Live Media, and it will get you in with Rachel. She'll be able to get back to you, schedule an appointment, talk to you about it. There's a lot of plans that don't require doctor's visits or anything, and she can get you covered, whatever you can afford. Okay, if you can afford $50 a month for a plan or $30, whatever it is, she can find a plan that fits you. All right, so you guys make sure you check out the Pettis Effect by texting 844-925-4511. Text live to that number. All right, so we are going to get to our guest this morning. Again, this is someone who I met out in the streets. We was in them streets. We was out in the streets. We was working. We was working. We was working. We was running vendor tables. I was with my wife, Kareem Marie. She was selling her wonderful book, A Small Piece of Her Heart, and we were side by side at vendor tables all summer long. Like we outside downtown, wherever we would always look up. And we were right next to each other. So it was like a family, you know. He was always throwing me free popcorn, so I became an addict. You know what I mean? That's a good way to do it, right? He was giving me free popcorn. And I'm like, then I'm coming over buying more and more. Every time I see him, I'm calling him late at night, like, Shawn, what's up with the popcorn? He like, we open in the morning, bro. Calm down. So, but I'm a huge fan. It was smart marketing. It worked. He got me addicted. Now I got my family addicted. It's a problem, but it's a wonderful problem to have. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Mr. Shawn Austin. Shawn, how you doing today?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
What's going on? Glad to have you here today. Excited about today's show. I came into the shop one of the 20 times that I came in recently, and I was talking to you, and I said, you were telling me your story, and I was like, I gotta have this man on the show, and I gotta have him on the show like now, like soon. And I was like, I'm about to start Lucas Live again. Can you come on? And you were like, yeah, man, let me know. Text me. You so calm and cool. So I appreciate you being here. So talk to us a little bit. Let's start with where you started. Okay. We got Taste Buds popcorn, right? But that's not where you started.
Exactly. Yeah, everybody.
Talk to us about it.
I'm known as the popcorn man.
Uh-huh.
Which I keep going. That's not where it started at.
Right.
My trucking company started in 2009. Honestly, by accident.
Wow.
So my boss at the time, I was a manager at a machine shop. We were bringing in parts from overseas.
Uh-huh.
All right, and it was coming in from Cleveland, and then we was bringing it down to Akron, and he was getting beat up as far as shipping costs.
Mhm.
And I made a joke because I think one of his bills was maybe like $400 or $500, and I was like, hey Jeff, I can bring this in for like $200, and he was just like, make it happen. And I was like, seriously?
Right.
He was like, yeah. So I went out and bought a little 8-foot box truck. My dad was retired, and I said, Dad, you want to run this back and forth, make a couple of dollars? He was like, yeah, let's make it happen. So we started going back and forth from Cleveland because we had maybe 4 or 5 pallets coming in every week,
Mm-hmm.
and he would just every other day run up to Cleveland, get the pallets, and bring it back. And I was
Right.
charging my boss, like $200,
Right.
and we thought we were doing
Right.
something,
You're like, this is great. This is
right?
good business.
Well, the company that we were picking the pallets up from, they were like a customs place. All right, they were
Okay.
clearing everything that was coming in from overseas, and they called me up one day and they said, "Hey, Shawn, can your dad take a pallet someplace else for us?" Sure, why not? Just going across town.
Mm.
So that one pallet turned into 2 or 3 pallets,
Mm.
4 or 5 pallets. Different accounts, and it
In what
just
amount of
kept.
time?
Okay,
Because
so
some of this stuff
yeah,
is blowing my
right.
mind. Like, what are you talking about?
So it started out with this 8-foot box truck, and we had it for about 2 or 3 weeks, and then the load started getting bigger. So my dad went up there one particular day to pick up a load, and it was maybe like 8 pallets. Well, it wouldn't fit onto the truck, and he said, "Well, I'll tell you what, let me go drop off these 6, and I'll come back and get the other 2." And they said, "That's not how that works.
Uh-huh.
Everything has to go at the exact same time."
Okay.
So he calls me up. He goes, "Yeah, I can't get this load, and we're losing this money and this and that." And I was just like, "All right, well, we'll just get a bigger box truck." So I took that one and I traded it in for a bigger one.
Wow.
That one lasted only about 3 weeks because the loads got bigger again.
Not because it only lasted a few weeks, because the truck didn't last. It didn't last because it wasn't big enough.
The
And you had
clients got
your
bigger.
clients grew
Correct.
that fast.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
unreal.
So we took in a maybe a 3 or 4 month span, we went from an 8 foot box truck to me needing a semi truck.
Wow.
And I'm going, all right, well,
You're like, this is a good problem. I can
this
deal
is a
with
nice
this.
hobby.
Right, right.
Nice little side gig. So once we needed a semi truck, my dad's best friend had CDLs.
Mhm.
All right. So he jumped in and, he was retired and he was like, yeah, I'll do this on the side, whatever. So we're running now. I'm still not paying attention, but my dad is paying attention to everything that's going on. He's watching this grow and I'm still working at the machine shop. I'm like, okay, yeah, I got a couple extra dollars coming in. And my dad is just like, this is bigger than what you think.
Right.
And I'm going, all right. So that lasted maybe about 7 or 8 months. All right. So we ended up getting, a nice solid truck. And my dad pulled me to the side and he goes, you need to go get your CDLs. And I'm going, I don't want to drive no truck. Are you crazy?
That's a big deal. Like,
yes.
getting a CDL, driving a truck is not something that most people jump up and do.
Well, my thing is that I had worked at the machine shop for 15 years, and I'm going, I'm solid here. I don't want to switch and do something that, I don't know anything about.
Right.
I'm scared to drive these big old trucks and this and that. And, it was tax time. So he pulled me to the side and he says, hey, how much does the truck make? And I said, well, we did 6 figures. And, that was
okay.
cool. Right.
Yeah,
we did all right.
that ain't bad.
Right. And he said, well, how much does the driver make? I said, about 40,000 or so. He's like, okay. How much did you make? And I was like, I made about 30 after, maintenance and gas and everything. And, I said, but that was side money. That was great.
Right.
And he said, let me see, 40 and 30. If you put them together, and I'm going, yeah, I didn't make that at the machine shop. And he was like, yeah, you might want to reconsider.
You might want to rethink your whole game.
Right. So I said, okay. Went out, got my CDLs, and I jumped in. And it was great. It was me and him running up and down the highway and this and that. And we seeing money coming in. And but I got to tell you, so I quit my job, bought a truck that I can drive, and 30 days later, the engine locked up.
Wow.
Yeah. So now I'm out of a job, and I don't have a trucking company.
The truck is your revenue. You go pick up loads, but that's how you pick up money.
Absolutely.
That's how you pick up your income.
Absolutely. So, that's where, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you got to have a team behind you. Okay.
So I learned that fast.
Right. So I thought the world was caving in, but my mom, my grandfather, my grandmother, my aunt, they all came together and it was just like, hey, how much is an engine? And I'm like, $15,000. Wow. So they all sat down and they started divvying out money and they was like, go, because we see where this is going. So I got another engine put in and I'm starting to go again. Okay. So I got in contact with, actually they got in contact with me, a couple real nice brokers. All right. And they control the trucking industry. They're like, hey, take this load over here, do whatever. Right. So one called me and they're just like, hey, we need you to go from Canton to the Detroit area every day. And I'm like, I don't want to go to Michigan. I literally just got a count going from Canton to Cleveland. It was solid.
I don't even like I don't like to go to Michigan just, but that's
well, it's Michigan. I said that
wrong. Exactly.
Yeah,
right. It's hard to go to Michigan. It's hard. As soon as you get in there, it starts to smell different. The roads is all falling apart.
Yeah, roads is all jacked up.
Yeah, I mean, like, as soon as you get in there, it's like start rumbling. I'm like, what about off the road?
Yeah,
like, no,
you just get itchy and stuff.
You do, right? Bugs and stuff. So you're like, what am I gonna do?
Right.
But you went ahead and
so I turned them down.
Wow.
Yeah. So this was actually the General Motors account, and I'm going, you know what? I'd rather go back and forth from Cleveland, and just stay local.
Wow.
So we ran that Cleveland account, and it lasted all of 2 or 3 days because it was not what it was cracked up to be. So I called General Motors back, and I'm going, hey, is this still available? And they was like, yeah, we was waiting on you to call us.
Right, we knew you was going to call.
Yeah,
we knew you would call sooner or later.
So I started running for them back in 2011, and I've been with them ever since.
Wow.
So they called me up and they go, hey, how big can you get? We want to start going through you. You're in the Canton area. So the majority of General Motors still is either coming from Canton, Ohio, or out in California.
Right.
So they're saying, with the relationship we got, we want to help you grow. And I'm going, wait a minute, this General Motors.
Right.
I'm not turning this down.
Right.
So I'm contacting, Penske and everything else, leasing these trucks. And we got up to about 9 trucks.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're rocking. And
So
I'm
you
sitting here,
start with, okay, to
a
rewind the
8-foot
story,
box truck.
a 8-foot box truck. Amazing. I mean, which doesn't even require a CDL.
No.
She got an 8-foot box truck, doesn't require a CDL. Within months, you outgrow that. Weeks, you out.
Months.
Months, you
Yeah, a
outgrow
few months.
that.
About 6 months.
6 months, you outgrow that. And how many months, how long was it? How many years? Because I would say to get to 9, you said 9 trucks?
Yeah.
Okay, most people I'd say 9 trucks. If you get to 9 trucks in 9 years, most trucking businesses would be like, we did pretty good. We've been growing about a truck a year. How long did it take you to get to 9 trucks? 9 from a box
about 3
truck.
years.
3 years from a box truck to 9 trucks. Okay,
right.
now
Because you take, we ran, so many trucks for 1 year and then so many trucks the next year. So it just every year we kept growing.
Now you can't drive 9 trucks. I don't even think you can drive 2 at once. I don't know what you. I mean,
I hope not.
So talk to me a little bit about as you expanded as a business owner. This is something you talked to me about as far as paying your drivers and taking care of people, building good relationships.
Absolutely.
Talk to us a little bit about that, because somebody out there is like, they want their business to grow beyond them. Because so many entrepreneurs, we become self-employed, which just means we got more work to do than we ever had to do before. We just get to tell people we work for ourselves. But what that really means is I don't work 9 to 5. I work 9 to 9 to 9 to 9 to 9. I'm always working, right? You found a way to bring people onto your team and then grow a team. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Okay, so there's something that I hinted on to that I think everybody missed. Okay, before I had the trucks, I designed a business. There was a want for it, So I'm going to tell every entrepreneur that's out there, do not go out and buy equipment and all this other stuff and then just go try to find a business. That's just it's too hard to do.
Interesting.
Make yourself valuable. Introduce yourself and this and this and that. But like I said, have a game plan. But even outside of that, make sure you have a team, because without my team, I would not be where I'm at right now. My mom, my dad, and my aunt, my grandmothers, and all of them, they backed me up. There are certain times where, I'll fall apart and, they're coming and they're grabbing me by my bootstraps and they're going, what are you doing? Let's go.
Right.
They see that vision. So, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, like I said, have that game plan, have that backing. But like I said, as far as the trucking industry, design the business first, then go get the trucks. That worked for me.
Like that.
Yep.
Design the business. So you were sharing that with me. You were growing your client base, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Whatever your business is, believe that you can get what you need on the back end. Believe you can find the support and build that support system, I suppose, too.
Absolutely.
You knew your family had your back. You knew that if things grew, you could call on them, talk to them, and that they saw the vision. And clearly, talk to us about, and we're going to get to Tastebuds here in just a minute, because we got some other special guests I want to hear from. But talk to us a little bit about, now your family knows you and loves you, but I'm sure you have other family members that your whole family would not have jumped in and necessarily threw all the money behind, because they may not have necessarily proven themselves. Talk to us about the need to prove yourself and show your investors, whether it's your mother, father, brother, sister, or some wealthy investor out there. Talk to us about doing the work to prove the concept of a business.
Even when I sat down with my mother and she seen me growing this, I had to give her a business plan.
Wow.
Yeah. She sat down with me like, you go to the bank and you sit down and you want to borrow this money from the bank. You got to come up with a plan, and they got to be a seed in black and white. I literally had to do this with my mother.
Wow.
And she was just like, okay, so how long is it going to take for me to get my investment back? And, and my partner, she calls herself the silent partner right now.
I love that. Right?
But yeah, you gotta have a vision. And even with, like I said, I've been running with General Motors since 2011, and every single day I still compete to keep them, because there's somebody knocking on the door,
knocking on their door right now,
right? Watching you, going, you know what? Let
them slip.
Yeah, let me see what he's doing. Fine tune his pencil a little bit, and I'm gonna sneak right behind him. And it's happened before.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've had General Motors snatched up away from me a couple of times. Somebody came in and underbidded me, and I said, okay, but can you do what we can do?
Right.
Sometimes it's not about the cost, So The drivers I got, they're monsters.
Mhm.
They love it. They love what they do. They
Mhm.
support me. They want to see the company grow.
Right.
We have our little hiccups here and there, but
Right.
we get it going. We do what we do.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So, okay. So trucking, so for you, your first love, or maybe it wasn't your first love in life, but you found the love for trucking. And that's where you, what they call, they say, they say you cut your teeth, right? They say that's where you build the muscle, the business muscle was built, building your trucking business, which you still have to this day, correct?
Mhm.
Talk to us real quick before we, because I want to get to taste buds, but before we go there, real quick, I just want to know, talk to us a little bit about life through the pandemic.
Ooh,
How
yeah, I
did
knew
what
you was gonna go
happened?
there.
I mean, because people need to know because
Okay.
everybody had their own experience. You're a business owner. You were growing. What? Talk to us about where you were. Were you 9 trucks in, and then, like what was happening when the pandemic hit? And what happened to your business?
Okay. So right when that hit, that's when we expanded and had those 9 trucks. I want to say literally months
Wow.
before the pandemic hit. And my dad always told me, he said, never brag, never showboat, always stay humble,
Right.
but visually I think I was, but mentally I felt like I was untouchable, because I had built this monstrous company, had all of these clients, I mean, literally I had at one time at least 70, 80 brokers that I were dealing with just
Right.
across, you know, those years,
Right.
so I had, great clientele. And I was just like, hey, well, if this account shuts down, I move over here and I move over here.
And that was working, right? You said,
Okay. So right when the pandemic hit,
uh-huh.
everyone started dropping.
Mhm.
So I would go from, this account would close up. Larry, no problem. I'll go over here.
Right.
This one started shutting down. So all across the country, everything was starting to close down. Now I had just went and got these trucks.
Right.
I got lease agreements and everything. And
Right.
I'm going,
Right.
what am I going to do?
Mhm.
Now I feel like I'm not who I thought I was.
That's deep. Let's
Yeah.
okay. So just real quick on that. A lot of times, and I don't know. I always wonder if it's a man thing, Gene. It's a man. I don't know if it's a man thing. It could be other people, but sometimes we do start to identify with our job, our business, things like that. We start to see a level of success, and we're like, I I I am Lucas Live Media, right? I am something like
Right.
that. That's a part. It's something I birthed, something I created. I take great pride in it, and I don't think
Absolutely.
there's anything wrong with it. But when it goes away, I was Mr. Lucas at McKinley Early Childhood Center for 15 plus years, right? I worked with kids and families, and it was my path. And I didn't know that it would be my forever, but it was what I did from the time I was 16 till I was 30, 31, 32. And when that job, when I was no longer working there, it was an identity crisis. I was like,
Right.
"Am I who I thought I was?
Right.
Am I?"
Yeah.
So you had built this thing, it disappears. You see, the whole world is going crazy, though.
Yeah.
Why not just be like, "Oh, the whole world is going crazy"? Talk to us about that as a person, as a man, as a provider. How did you deal with that? How did you process
Oh, it was a crushing blow,
that?
I mean, because I dealt with so much during that time. The pandemic hit. I honestly had just lost my father.
Wow.
So the pandemic kind of came into what, maybe like February or March.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
My dad passed in January.
Wow.
6 months before my dad passed, my grandfather passed. So I'm mourning all of this.
Mm.
And then after my dad passed, my uncle passed. So I lost all of this in a 9 month. And now let's throw the
Now your
pandemic on there.
business.
Yeah, so I'm crushed. I'm devastated, and I'm just, I'm giving my trucks back, back to Penske that I leased and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me all the way down to nothing,
Wow.
And then I remember going into the bank one day and, I had to pay my drivers and I'm looking at my account and I'm literally, after I paid them, I got a couple $100 left. And I'm going, I don't know what I'm going to do here.
Right.
And I'm talking to my banker, who's a, really good friend of mine.
Right.
And she's looking at me and my eyes are, tearing up and
Right. Right.
stuff. And she's like, well, wait a minute. She starts tapping and she goes, what's your social security number? And I'm like, what are you doing? She was like, just listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
So she's tapping and she goes, huh, okay, there we go. And she goes, what if I gave you $50,000? Can you go get some trucks? And I'm like, where am I going to get
Did you
$50,000
say
from? Yeah.
$50,000?
And I
Not
said,
15, not 550.
50,000. And she said, what can you do with that? I said, I can go buy 3 trucks. She was
Wow.
like, slid the check across the thing. She was like, "You just got a line of credit. Go get your trucks."
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Absolutely
So from there on,
amazing.
I built myself back up. Now, most people know we're still going through the pandemic. It's still a ripple effect.
Sure.
Okay. So with my clients still trying to build back up, with GM, even though they're having record numbers, they're still trying to get everything going,
Yeah.
you know? Um, so I found a sweet spot where I needed to be as far as the trucks. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just keep it here and let's not flex.
Okay, right,
Yeah, we're
right.
gonna be comfortable
A
right
sweet
here.
spot.
Right. And now we're great. So, the trucks are doing okay. Which allowed me to get into, taste buds.
I love it. Perfect transition. I
Mhm.
mean, make it easy on the host, why don't you? So, so I love the story. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I got to hear this story firsthand, standing in Taste Buds Popcorn. Sean and I just started talking, and I think this is how we always are when we see each other.
Yeah.
I know his family.
Miss Audie.
Shout out to Scott and Audie, and your family out there. Love them so much, and just it was always like that. And so hearing this story was inspiring to me, and I was literally mesmerized as we were there talking about other stuff. And I just walked away and I just thought I have to have him on the show. And at the time, I wasn't even doing the show like this. And I said, it's coming back, and you got to come back and be my first guest when we kick it off. So thank you for being here. I love it. Now, Danny Williams, our other host, she's in the chat, and she said, "Who is your banker?" Now, everybody wants to know. What people want to know, they're like, "Who is his banker?" Because my banker be like, "You want anything else?"
Right. Shout out to Huntington.
No, shout out to Huntington. All right, okay, good people over at Huntington Bank. Little commercial for them. We appreciate everything they've done to keep the business going. 50, if you want 50,000. No.
Look, don't line up now. They're going to call me. They're going to be like, wait a minute, what did you say?
They're going to be like, Sean said everybody gets 50,000 for their ideas and stuff, because they got good ideas.
Right.
They're like, nah, that ain't it. That ain't working like that. So, all right, well, listen. All right, let's jump into Taste Buds. Let's jump into Taste Buds Popcorn. We want to talk about it. We have some other guests in the building. We're gonna get this rolling here in just a minute. One of our cameras decided to do something weird. There we go. But we got our wonderful production assistant Tiffany Williams is in the building. She is keeping things moving, and we are grateful that she is here. What's up, Kelly? Thank you for jumping in. What's going on? Good to see you. Thank you. She said, "Thank you for sharing this. This is amazing." See, you don't know who you're inspiring out there. Shout out to Kelly Chandler. Kelly, I'm sure your kids are grown now. It's crazy. Okay. I don't it's just crazy. People I worked with them and their children. My Aunt Gloria is a big fan of you guys at Taste Buds. She said God made it happen. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Awesome. 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 So we are good to go. So, all right. So we are going to bring on a couple special guests along with Sean here today that are going to help tell the story of Taste Buds Popcorn here in Canton. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the rest of the team, some other members of the team here today. We want to thank Jamie and Selena for being here. Jamie, how you doing this morning?
I'm great, y'all.
Wonderful. Glad to have you. Selena, how are you? Awesome. Wonderful. 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 Everybody gets so excited. They get to come into the studio, or sometimes they're like, whew, I get to be on camera. I got to be ready. It's early. They was ready though. They was ready. They woke up. Sean was checking with them like, get your energy drinks. But they jumped in. We were all in here laughing and having a good time before the show started. So I'm excited about it. Sean, tell me about these two ladies here and their role with your business. And again, we're talking about building a team. Talk to me about what they've done to help you with this business.
Absolutely. Where do I start with these two girls? You know what? Both of them are, my anchor, my rock, my support. I mean, I can keep going. When I started Taste Buds, again, coming out of the pandemic, I was still going through stuff mentally, with losing my loved ones that just broke up with my girlfriend and everything. And I was just in a dark place. And I said, you know what? I need to take all of this energy and put it someplace. So, I did some research as far as business. I love business. I love that challenge.
Right.
And I come across Taste Buds, and I was like, you know what? Let's give this a roll.
Interesting. You come across a popcorn business?
I did my research. because honestly, anybody that wants to get into business, all right,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna tell you how I did this. This is
All right,
crazy.
talk to us. Tell the people.
I got online. I Googled businesses you can start for 10,000. Oh, businesses you
Because
can
you had a banker that you knew would throw you whatever you needed. No, he's like, whatever my banker will give me, I'm doing it.
You're not gonna get me in trouble with Huntington. You better stop.
Here we go again. Right. Huntington, here we come.
But no, seriously, businesses you can start with 10,000, businesses you can start for 20,000, and the list, the more the bigger number you put, the more businesses come up. And I come across Tastebuds, and I was like, this is interesting, So I called the franchise president, and I'm going, tell me a little bit about this. So he's, going over numbers with me and this and that, and I'm like, man, it's popcorn. What are you doing? And then he was like, I've got 207 flavors. This is how we do it. We rotate and we keep people hungry, and we just,
Right.
I said, you know what? I'm flying down there. I want to see this. So, me and, my buddy AC, we flew down there, walked in and was just blown away. This little itty bitty facility that looked like a little garage. And you walk in and the smell was just amazing. Some of y'all that came into my store, you know what I'm talking about.
We already know. That's that addict
right.
stuff.
And it was great. His staff was great. And I said, you know what? I got to take this back home because we don't have anything like this of this magnitude back home. And like I said, I needed something to occupy my, my time here, Jamie at that time was dating, AC.
Tell her business now. Why don't we just tell all the business? She like blink, blink, blink. She's like, wait a minute.
Right.
She was dating, okay. Someone
But she came in and and was on the ground level.
Willing to do whatever needed to be done.
Everything. I mean, as you come into my storefront, you see the decals on the windows.
Yeah.
Jamie put that up there.
Interesting.
Yeah. So she's been here from day one, and that's my little sister, and it was great.
That's amazing.
Selena. She just popped in as a customer.
Okay.
She was,
Okay,
she came in.
She just showed up.
She came in.
Leave. You like, you can go now.
Yeah, our mutual friend Hallie came in, and they wanted to check the store out, and she was sitting over in the corner trying to popcorn or whatever, and then she left. She came back the next day.
Okay.
I don't think she ever left.
And the rest is history.
If you want a job at Tastebuds Popcorn,
she just kind of
show up and never leave.
No, honestly, I think she bullied her way in.
Is that right? Thinking about it.
I think he's right.
That's right.
Yeah,
right.
I
need to be a part of it.
I honestly think at that time, we needed each other.
Yeah.
Because Selena had a story, I had one, and we just, and now that's my big sister.
That's awesome.
Yeah. She's done checked me a couple times.
Does she?
Yeah.
Okay. You gotta let that happen. People don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty open with that here at Lucas Live Media. That Tiff is here, and Tiff is the youngest of our crew, but somehow she's the oldest of our crew. Somehow she because she's me and Danny are more the creatives and the thinkers and the dreamers, and Tiff is the one that's like, but what we gonna do though, right? When we gonna get it done? Like, when are we
and you
starting?
need that. You gotta have eyes, because you think you see everything, and everybody else is on the outside, and they're going, you missed this, or you didn't see this, or why didn't you try this? And so there's like flavors in the store that they've come up with, and I'm like, they'll mix something together, and they'll go, here, try this, and I'm like, that's gonna be gross, and then I try, and I'm like, I can't let them know that this is good.
Right.
And it's just, you got to give them credit.
Right. I love it. So talk to us a little bit about how, if somebody wants to know more about Tastebuds, where is it at? What do you guys have down there? Let's talk about it. Let's go to our ladies over here. You guys talk to us, because you guys are often the ones who are helping people down there. So Jamie, I came into the store one day. I had not met you until a few weeks ago. And you were the customer service, and this is something my Aunt Gloria and I talk about. She mentioned it yesterday. It's like, there's not a lot of places you go and the staff are always smiling and always kind. Like Chick-fil-A maybe, you know what I mean? Because that's like their thing. Right. But a small franchise business here locally, they're cool, they're nice enough at most of them, but not as kind and thoughtful and patient. We like, can I try this? Can I get a sample of that? Somebody else is coming in. Jamie, talk to us a little bit about what you have to offer and why you offer it the way you do as far as customer service. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Everybody deserves to have a smile every day. You never know what someone's dealing with at home.
Right.
So if I can put a smile on someone's face while pleasing their belly,
That's what it's all about, right? Right. So I came in and it was, and this is why you were so memorable, and it made me want to come back. And I literally came back the next day. I'm like, the popcorn was great, but the customer service was so good.
oh, thank you.
So for you, where does that come from for you, as far as just high level customer service?
I don't know. I just love people. I love making people smile.
Yeah, we play off of each other
Yeah.
a lot.
I
You know,
love
when
this.
customers come
I
in,
love to
you
joke.
know, yeah,
Right.
she'll take, you know, like she'll be dealing with a customer or whatever, and I'm watching them, you know, and I'm seeing, you know, like we had a guy that came in one day and he was just like, I don't like popcorn. And I'm like, you sure? You know, so I'm looking over at Jamie, and Jamie was like, yeah, let's get him. You know, so
Oh, he gonna learn today.
yeah, he
I
gonna
like
he gonna learn
popcorn
today. Yeah, he learned
Right.
because he left out of there with about 3 bags.
did.
Oh,
You
did
know?
he?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, it's just, you know, there's a couple customers that come in and me and Jamie are just, you know, we're going back and forth and teasing each other, and they'll go out in their car and they got tears in their eyes
Yeah.
and they're just laughing so hard.
You'll hear
You
them
know?
laughing to their
Yeah.
car, and then they'll call back or they'll come in and they'll be like, you know, last time we were here.
I
Mhm.
love that.
Yeah. So, you know, everybody that comes in, they're not a customer to us.
No.
You know, we try to make friends.
Yeah.
You know, just come on in and like Jamie said, we don't know what kind of day you're having, but when you leave from here, it's gonna be great.
We know you're gonna have a good time
Yeah.
here.
That is,
Absolutely.
I guarantee when people build franchises and then they get franchisees and others who jump in, they hope that they will carry on and create a good reputation, right? But we all know, I mean, McDonald's once upon a time was some brothers making a business and then it expanded. And we know sometimes, depending on where you're at, what location in the city, in the country, you might walk into a McDonald's and they might throw your cheeseburger at you. Or they might look at you like, go use that kiosk and stop talking to me. I don't know why you looking at me. You're like, can you help me? They're like, no, I don't know if I can help you. Like, you need more help than I can give. So it's like that's not good for the business, for the greater business and the reputation, which is why Chick-fil-A was able to play on that, where they have less stores and do more volume than a lot of these other businesses, which is fascinating because of customer service. So I think it's a phenomenal thing that you guys are doing with that. Selena, talk to us a little bit about. Obviously, you had a good experience there, so good that you said, "I'm coming back tomorrow and the next day and the
And
next
she's
day."
still sitting here.
She's still here, right? They
She
didn't
ain't
even know.
going
She just
nowhere.
showed up today. She walked in. She was like, "What y'all doing?" And they was like, "Come on here with us."
Nobody told me. They just said I have to start the cars out.
And you're like, "Are they here? I'm coming." Right.
Oh my goodness.
What was it about this business that drew you to it?
Well, honestly, it was a friendly environment. Like Shawn said, I was going through my little situation. We both have stories to tell, Jamie as well. And at that time, I think it was like a closure thing for all of us. We kind of all needed each
Yeah.
other. So our blend and our vibe made Tastebuds actually what it is. I
Yeah.
mean, we keep it going because of our vibe. It's not like any of us can come in there with a bad day. We do. We do.
Right.
We're human.
We do. We have bad days.
And but by the end of that day,
Yeah, it's all right.
it's everything
It's
is
all right.
cool.
Yeah.
Everybody is laughing. We might even joke about what we came in there having a bad day about.
Oh, you gonna get teased about.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
gonna
Okay.
get
We
You
gonna
gonna get
talk
it.
we
about
have
you.
our cracking sessions. Believe
Right.
that.
Right. We're gonna talk about
Believe that.
We got roasting sessions.
we do.
Right.
We do. And
Right.
it's like that's what we need to revolve. And it keeps everything going. It keeps the customers happy and it keeps us happy as well. So
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And they all have on Taste Bud shirts. They had a meeting yesterday and they were like, "You wear this one, you wear." No, they said they didn't plan this.
No.
But they all got on different Taste
No.
Bud shirts, which is absolutely phenomenal.
That was by accident.
That was my that in too.
Yeah, it's
That's-
just, you know, different flavors. Here.
Right,
Yeah.
different flavors.
Yeah.
They're accidentally in sync. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So you guys, I really appreciate you guys coming on today and sharing your story. I think it's very inspiring to people who are watching this live or by replay. Share this with somebody. Tell somebody about it. We're gonna cut clips and put some of this out there for you guys to see it in different formats and different social media platforms. But we just really want to thank these three today for coming in and sharing their stories. Shawn, as we close this down, if you could give a message to people out there who are thinking about starting a business, and you've shared some things already, but if you could just give us your closing thought on it's 2024, you're ambitious, you're hungry, you're tired of the grind, you want to do your own thing, what's some advice you would give to an up and coming entrepreneur?
like I said, have a game plan. You know, don't look at a business and go, oh, I can make six figures or seven figures or whatever. It's deeper than that. You know, discuss it with your family, discuss it with your close friends, and you know, what I always do is when I look at a business, I look at it as worst case scenario, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and if you can come up with a solution how to make it better,
Yeah.
then go for it.
I love
You know, but like I said, I am not who I am today without the team that that has my back. So you got to have that. Absolutely.
Love it, love it, love it. Build your team, ladies and
Hmm.
gentlemen. Build your team, build your plan, then build your business. Have these things in mind as you go along. Some people will jump in and help you as you get started with it. Some people will come along as you go, but show people what you got, show people what you can do, and be willing to put in the work. It
Absolutely.
has been our pleasure. Thank you guys so much for being here with us. We appreciate you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another season of Lucas Live. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. It was so much fun. We're going to be back here next Friday morning. We have the owner of a business called Society Brands. We're going to have Mike on from Society Brands. He has a business that has raised a tremendous amount of venture capital. He is now in the Hall of Fame Village and doing some cool things. We want to bring these stories to you guys. We want to talk about these wonderful businesses in our community, as well as educate, motivate, and liberate all of you so you can learn something new, so you can be motivated to do something new, and you can feel free to know that you can do anything you put your mind to. We thank you guys for being here on another episode of Lucas Live. Everybody, have a great